The dusty trail stretched endlessly under the hot afternoon sun, the horizon shimmering like a mirage. Emily, barely 20, tightened the straps of her worn satchel and squinted at the vast plains ahead. She had traveled far from her small town in Kansas, responding to an unusual opportunity, a mail-order arrangement with a man she had never met in person. The idea felt strange, even unsettling, but her curiosity and a longing for adventure had pushed her forward. She spotted a group of Native American riders in the distance. Their leader, a towering man with broad shoulders and piercing dark eyes, exuded authority and confidence. His long hair was tied back with leather straps, and feathers adorned his headgear, signaling his status. Emily's heart pounded as he dismounted and approached her. "You must be Emily," the man said, his voice deep and commanding, yet gentle. "I am Kanoa." His words held weight, as if each syllable carried the echoes of generations. Emily nodded, trying to maintain her composure, though her hands shook slightly. She had expected a rough, unyielding man, but Kanoa's presence was magnetic. His eyes seemed to study her, not with judgment, but with curiosity and intrigue. The journey back to his village was tense. Emily sat side saddle on a horse she barely knew, gripping the reins with white-knuckled hands. Kanoa rode beside her, his calmness a stark contrast to her nerves. He spoke little, but when he did, his words painted vivid pictures of the landscape, the traditions of his people, and the responsibilities he carried as their leader. By the time they arrived at the village, Emily felt a mix of awe and intimidation. The structures were simple but dignified, blending seamlessly with the natural environment. Children ran past them, laughing and playing, while elders greeted Kanoa with deep respect. That evening, in the soft glow of the firelight, Emily realized just how far she had come. She was a stranger in this world, yet Kanoa's presence made it feel less alien. The tension between them was undeniable, a mix of fear, curiosity, and an unspoken spark. When he finally looked at her with a faint smile, Emily felt a flutter in her chest. Kanoa leaned closer and whispered, "You are brave, Emily. That is rare." The words were simple, but the way he said them carried weight, making her pulse quicken. She wondered if this connection could grow into something deeper, something she had never imagined in her quiet Kansas life. Days passed, and Emily began adjusting to life in the village. She learned to navigate the routines, fetching water, helping in the garden, and participating in communal meals. Kanoa watched her closely, occasionally offering guidance or correcting her movements, but always with patience and a calm intensity that drew her in. One evening, while the sun dipped below the horizon and painted the sky in fiery shades of orange and purple, Kanoa invited Emily to walk with him along a riverbank. The gentle sound of water and the chirping of distant crickets created a serene backdrop. "You are different from what I expected," he said quietly, his eyes fixed on the flowing water. "You are not afraid of life, and yet, you seem cautious, careful with your heart." Emily hesitated. "I've always been careful," she admitted. "But I've also always wanted something more, something beyond what I've known." Kanoa turned to face her, the intensity in his gaze making her breath catch. "Sometimes," he said, "the world shows us what we are capable of. And sometimes, it surprises us." The closeness between them grew with each passing day. Simple touches, hand brushing against hand, the accidental press of shoulders, sent shivers down Emily's spine. She could sense that Kanoa felt it too. There was an energy between them, a current of desire and admiration that neither dared to fully acknowledge. One night, under the starlit sky, Emily tried to speak. I don't know what I'm feeling," she confessed. Kanoa smiled, a rare, soft expression that made his usually stern features almost gentle. "Then let it be what it is," he murmured. "Feel it, don't define it. Sometimes, that is enough." The vulnerability in his voice melted something inside Emily. For the first time in her life, she allowed herself to trust completely, to be seen without pretense. The days grew warmer, and Emily's world had transformed entirely. The small Kansas town she had left behind seemed like a distant dream, replaced by the vast, open plains and the rhythm of village life. Yet, despite the beauty around her, it was Kanoa who occupied her thoughts constantly. One afternoon, while walking through the fields, Emily stumbled and fell near a patch of wildflowers. Before she could react, Kanoa was there, steadying her with strong, warm hands. Their eyes met, and for a moment, neither spoke. His touch lingered, and Emily felt a surge of warmth and longing she had never experienced. "You are careful," Kanoa whispered, his voice low and intimate. "But sometimes, courage is not about bravery in action, it's about opening your heart." Emily's cheeks flushed, her gaze dropping to the ground. I want to, but I don't know how," she admitted softly. Kanoa smiled, gently tilting her chin up so their eyes locked. "Then let me guide you," he said, and in that moment, something shifted. There was no fear, no hesitation, only trust and the undeniable pull between them. Evenings became their secret world. They would sit by the fire, talking for hours about dreams, fears, and the small joys of life. Emily discovered a tenderness in Kanoa that few ever saw, a man of immense strength and authority, softened by love and devotion. And Kanoa saw in Emily a fearless spirit, unafraid to embrace life with curiosity and passion. One night, under a sky glittering with stars, Emily rested her head on Kanoa's shoulder. He wrapped an arm around her, pulling her close, and whispered, "You amaze me, Emily. More than you'll ever know." Her heart raced as she realized she felt the same way, completely, irrevocably. Their lips brushed briefly, almost a question, almost a promise, and the world seemed to pause. The warmth of their connection deepened, filling the spaces where loneliness and fear had once resided. It was a quiet morning when Kanoa led Emily to a hill overlooking the village. The sun bathed them in golden light, and the wind carried the scent of pine and wildflowers. He took her hands in his, holding them with reverence and care. "Emily," he began, his voice steady and sincere, "from the moment I saw you, I knew my heart belonged to you. You are not just my bride, you are my equal, my partner, the one I wish to share everything with." Emily's eyes shimmered with tears of joy. "Kanoa, I never imagined I could feel this way," she whispered. "But I love you. Completely." A tender silence fell between them, broken only by the soft rustle of the grass. Slowly, Kanoa leaned closer, and their lips met in a kiss that was gentle, passionate, and full of promise. It was not just a kiss, it was a declaration, a vow, a merging of two hearts who had journeyed so far to find one another. As days turned into weeks, Emily and Kanoa's love blossomed. Every glance, every touch, every word became a language only they understood. They laughed together, cried together, and built a world where trust and intimacy were the foundation. One evening, by the firelight in the village square, Kanoa whispered again, his voice a low murmur meant only for her, "It's incredible what you do, simply by being yourself." Emily blushed, resting her head against his chest. "And it's incredible how you love me, Kanoa," she replied softly. In the heart of the Wild West, amidst sprawling plains and endless skies, two souls had found each other. Their love was fierce, tender, and unshakable, a love that neither time nor distance could ever diminish. And in each other's arms, Emily and Kanoa discovered the most extraordinary truth of all, that love, when true and unguarded, could make the world itself feel magical.